Okay, here's the great review for your final. First thing you want to do for the perspective drawing is put in a horizon. I'm not going to use a ruler. You don't really have to either. All right, so it's 2-point perspective. So I know 1 point's here, 1 point's here. First thing I want to do is put in one line straight up and down. That'll be the corner of the building. Now I know this one's going to go back here because this is the right side of the building. Just freehanding. I'll give you a ruler so you guys can do it. But at this point, I'm just going to freehand them. Okay, 2 points. You take your line, top and bottom, go back that way, and go back that way. Then I put in the sides of the cube. Okay, from here, I go back to that corner, and from here, I go back to the other corner. Okay, it's going to be rough. My perspective will be a little bit off, but it'll be close enough. Okay. Let's get my cube kind of solidified. Okay, that's step one, very easy. Then I can get rid of these because I don't need them anymore. Gone. So again, center line is number one. Go back to the corners or your vanishing points. Put in your second and third line. That tells you where the top of the boxes are going to be, and then take those back to the vanishing points. And then you've got your cube. Now here's the tricky part. You have to make a cylinder, and there's a couple ways you can do this. Now remember, anything above the horizon line, you can't see the top. Anything below the horizon, and you can. Okay, so this is below the horizon line, therefore I can see the top. If it were above the horizon line, I would only see these two sides. I wouldn't see the top or the bottom because you can't be under the cube. All right. Now, if I'm going to do a cylinder, there's a couple ways to do it. Probably the best way to do it and the easiest is to put it going back toward this vanishing point. Oops. You want to go from this corner. So about up there. This will be a lot easier with a ruler. And it's going to be a little bit off. Okay, and then because I can see this side, I should be able to see this side. It's going to be a little tricky getting the perspective right on this, but that's okay. And then I can't see that side because I can't see the side of this box either. Okay, so you can do it like that. Or if you're going to put it standing up, let me do real quick. Okay, I'm going to trace this so I can show you the example of the other way to do it. Okay, there's your cube. There's your horizon, your vanishing points. You can also put it standing up, which is pretty easy as well. It's just two straight lines, and then because this is above your eye line or the horizon line, it's going to be curved. So either one of those will work. I think this one's kind of cool. Now we need one light source. That's the last part of this. So pick a side, doesn't matter which side. If the light's coming from here, that means this side is going to be dark. Okay, and I would shade this in a lot better, but I'm working quickly so you can get to work and practice. That also means that this side is going to be dark because you can't get light on the side that's away from the light. So, and I expect you to shade a lot better than this. Okay, we know that this is going to cast a shadow here because the light's on that side. And we also know that down at the bottom is going to be dark as it's away from the light, and then it fades its way up. Okay, same here. Let's make this super dark because that's totally in shadow. And then we'll have this fade in a little bit. And then the top is light. Okay. Now this side also doesn't have a lot of light, but it might catch a little bit. So we know that this bottom corner is going to be dark. And it might lighten as we get over here. Now you don't have to start with the light on that side. You can pick any side you want, provided that one side is dark. Okay, and then this, I might put a little shadow on this side because it's farther away from the light, just to show that that's the side the light's coming from. Now the last step, we have to put our shadows in. Okay, so this is going to cast a shadow, and notice the shadow also follows the vanishing point. And remember, you get a little cast highlight there, a little cast light, and then you got shadow. Same thing here. It's going to be darkest, closest to the object, because the light isn't hitting that. And then it fades out a little bit. Now we want to make sure that at some point the cube ends and the cylinder doesn't. You can let it go off the edge of the page. All right. And of course, gradually have this fade. Don't do it like I did real quick. Let's use some real values here. Of course, that's going to be super dark on this side. You would finish that whole side off. And you're going to have shadow here because it's underneath. And that's it. Now, if you did the other one, where'd it go? Here it is. Okay, and you choose this as your light source, you're still going to have shadow here, but your shadow is going to be on this side. So when you shade it, shadow is going to come around until the light starts to catch it, and then it fades out. Same thing, we're going to have our shadow come this way, and that's assuming your light is coming from the side of your vanishing point. This is all shadow. You're also going to have this long shadow here, even longer, because it's standing upright. Actually, I would take that back more toward the vanishing point since this is aligned that way. All right, pretty simple. Two ways to do it. They're both good. Maybe a little bit here, but I wouldn't put anything on that side really. So you've got a cube and a cylinder in 2-point perspective, 1, 2, with one light source. Very simple. And now you should be able to ace this final.